Okay, let's start entering some of the text in this document. First thing we want to enter is the composer name. Let's do a search for composer name. So this looks like this should work. Text, tab, styles, and text style. So if we click on that, you'll see it takes us there to common and right here, composer name. So we can click on that. It loads our cursor with it. We can just click anywhere on the screen because Sibelius knows where it's supposed to go, which is over there. And then when we're done entering, click outside the box, and it places it where it needs to go. The next text that we'll add will be the actual name of the song, something. Song title, I believe, is what that's called. Yeah, text styles, so it's in the same location, but title. Okay, there's the title of the song. So we'll click on that, do the same thing. We can click anywhere almost on the screen. It's going to know where it's supposed to go. Something, and we'll click outside the box. And so we've added the name of our piece and our composer name. Now let's look at adding the tempo information. So the play has to do with playing your song. We don't want that. We want a text and a styles, probably common tempo. Let's see. Let's go look at that. Yeah, that looks the same. So that's what we want. Now let me show you a little trick that you can do. If we click on that, we know it's supposed to go over here somewhere, so we'll just click. And it's given us the cursor. Now we could go ahead and say Andante and start typing this in. But an easier way to do that, and this works when you're inputting a variety of different types of notation in Sibelius. So you can use the Control modifier key, hold down Control, and then click on the flashing cursor. So Control and click, and it brings up this menu, which is awesome because it gives you all of the available options that you might want to choose from, as well as make sure it is in the correct font size and whether it's italicized or bolded, that type of thing. So we'll choose Andante and then hit spacebar and hit Control and click again. And we can go down here, and here's our quarter note. And then we can say equals on the QWERTY keys and the tempo, 70. Now when we're done, we can click outside of the box here. And we've entered now our tempo information. Okay, we just have a few things left and we'll be completed with our project. The next thing that we want to cover is how to enter chords into our lead sheet. The chords for our lead sheet are found right up here. We can enter chords real easily. You can do a search for a chord symbol, and that will take you to the correct location. Text, chord symbols, chord symbol. So if you go over here, text, chord symbols, and chord symbol. So as soon as we do that, it has loaded our pointer, and we can click where we want the first chord to go. So we'll click right there, and then there's a number of different ways we can enter this information. We can just type it in, so F, and then the way that we get to the next note that we need to add a chord symbol for is by just hitting the space bar. Each time we hit the space bar, it moves to the next note. So we want the E flat chord to be right there. So a capital E and just a small b, and then space bar again, and G7/D or G7 over D. So G7 / and D and space bar. Now, one thing you may have noticed is that when I added E flat, it was in the way or conflicting with the tempo marking here. As soon as I hit spacebar after hitting E flat, Sibelius recognized I was entering an E flat and made room for Andante, so it moved Andante up. That's a feature in Sibelius that's really powerful, and it's something that's new. It's called magnetic layout. And what it does is it looks at what you're doing and appropriately adds space where there needs to be space so that your layout looks correct without you having to go in and manually move things around. All right, let's continue adding our chords. We can add C and then hit spacebar multiple times till we get to the next chord, C, MAJ, and 7. And then as soon as we hit spacebar, you'll see that it changes the way that it looks, so it looks more like this. Sibelius is very capable at creating text versions of your chords. So the next chord, C7, even though I type C7, as soon as I hit space, it'll understand that it should make that a small case 7. Now the other thing that we can do is if you're a keyboard person, you could actually play the chord in by playing your MIDI keyboard. Okay, so I played my MIDI keyboard, and then I can go space, and I could actually play the chord, A minor over E, and then to D7. Okay, so you get the idea. You can do it a variety of different ways. And then G over B. So that's how you add chords. If you need to get out of this chord mode, you can use the escape key. And then when you need to add more chords again, same thing, back to text, chord symbol. Your pointer then is loaded, and you can click on the note above which you need to add a chord symbol. So that's how you add chord symbols to your score. Next, we're going to look at entering lyrics.